Right. Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica, and I'll be here with you today because I was going to be the 100 Ravens representative at Allentown. It was going to be the first show I was doing on my own. I'm sorry that I'm missing you in person, but I'm grateful to be able to show you some of the things we were going to bring, and now some new things as well. I'll be taking questions at the end, and I'll also be in the comments after the stream ends to answer any questions I didn't see live, so feel free to ask away. We didn't have a colorway planned for Allentown, but there were some colors we were going to show, so here they are, some ones we were going to feature. So starting off with our colorway, Emo Cthulhu. It's a wonderful new undyed bits with green and gray and green and blue, different shades of green and different shades of blue. We have it on two bases here. This is our Intoa base, which is a worsted. It's a 4-ply. And this is our Taiki base. It is a single ply. Both are 100% superwash merino. The next thing we were going to be featuring at Allentown was one of our mini skein set colorways. This is To Infinity and Beyond. You recognize the name? Yes, it is the reference you think it is. And it's a little washed out due to color, but there you can see that it goes from a really bright purple to a really bright green and everything in between. And then lastly, we were also going to be featuring our Firewatch. It's got purples and oranges and yellows in there. And if you saw our social media post, you will have seen an absolutely gorgeous hat made out of it. So that is our Firewatch. This skein is on our Iako space, which is a 2-ply 100% merino. And it is superwash just like all of our yarns. So, and here I have in front of me some of the colorways we did for other shows, which were sadly also canceled, but that's great for you because now they're available on our website for you to get as well. First off is Georgia O'Keeffe, which was for the Madison Knitters Guild Knit In, and it is, again, greens and blues, but it's also got some yellow in there, so you can see how it is different, and it's very much its own color. I have it here on two of our different fingering bases, our 2-ply Iakos, which is just the 100% merino, and then on our Paydos, which is our sock yarn. It's a 4-ply. It's a true 75-25 merino nylon sock yarn. Next is, here's looking at UKID, which we were doing for Stitches United. So again, on two different bases here, our Taiki and our Iakos, and it is a two-toned purple pink. I apologize if my colors are not 100% correct. I did my best to make sure my colors were accurate. And then this one is Counting My Blessings for DFW Fiberfest, and it was named for how we felt after the outpouring of support from the DFW folks after our trailer theft last year. It is a very pretty two-tone blue. You can see a little more variation on this skein with the lighter blue, so it's very much a very pretty two-tone shade of blue. And then lastly, for the show colors, I can have the yarn not fall over, my apologies, is a First Time for Everything. This is going to be our colorway from Maryland Sheep and Wool, named for the fact this would have been our first year at that show. And so, fortunately, this one, the label seems to have wandered off, but here it is on two different yarns. It's a lovely orangish tangerine color. It dyes a little different depending on the base, but I think it's a very pretty color. So the biggest announcement we have is that we are doing a knit along. It's been a while since we ran one ourselves, so we're happy to introduce a new pattern and this knit along at the same time. So our knit along will be this shawl Mormont by Remily Knits. And as you can see, this pattern is a wonderfully geometric wrap and then work in just about any color combination. You can see on the end there the geometric end to it. You can see the colors from one end to the other. And if you want to, and so this pattern takes, it was designed for one set of our Iakos minis and two skeins of contrasting or coordinating semi-solid yarn. And if you want to participate in this knit along, don't worry, there's plenty of time. The knit along itself won't start until 2 weeks from today, which will be Saturday, April 18th. We wanted to make sure that everyone who wanted could purchase kits and have plenty of time to receive them as well. Our very own Kel will be leading this knit along on our Ravelry and social media. They won't be doing these colors specifically, but we will have plenty of the Resolute Lady of Bear Island, which is the name of the mini set used in the sample, if you want to knit it exactly like you see it. The coordinating gray is our colorway Smoke. The knit along will run for 6 weeks, April 18th to May 30th. For those of you who choose to participate, there will be a finished objects thread in our Ravelry group. And if you submit your finished Mormont before the end of the knit along, you will be entered to win a $50 gift card from us to you. I'd also like to share with you our Yaksha minis. You've probably seen our Yakos minis. That's what both the Resolute Lady of Bear Island and To Infinite and Beyond are. These are both on our Yakos base, which is, again, 100% superwash merino wool. It's a 2-ply fingering. Our Yaksha minis are made out of one of our new yak bases. Our Yaksha is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. It's a gorgeously soft 3-ply fingering weight yarn. And here we've turned it into some lovely mini skeins for you. I have some colors here to show you, so I'll hold them up to the camera one at a time and you'll get to see them. So first we have Phoenix, which is a orange to red gradient. The colors on Yaksha come out a little darker than on the wool, on the pure wool, because the yak is actually gray and it comes to us not white. So when we dye it, you get these gorgeously rich tones. Next we have Mermaid's Tail, which is a blue to green gradient. Again, a little on the darker side, a little more jewel tone, but it's very nice. Next we have Pixie Dust, which is a very light purple to a darker purple. And then we have Dark Shadows, which is a gray to a purple. We have Boats for Women Everywhere, which is a light blue to a darker blue. And then lastly for colors, we have, this is Pandora, and it starts off with a pink and it goes to a purple. And so not only our minis, but everything I've mentioned so far today is available on our website. One last thing, what's the name of the knit along pattern? I saw that one. It's Mormont, M-O-R-M-O-N-T. It is available on Ravelry. It's by Remily Knits. And she did put it up on her Instagram as well, and it will be linked on our website with the kits and everything. So it's Mormont, which is a Game of Thrones reference, I was told. I have not read the books or watched the show, but I was told that both the name of this and the name of this mini set are both Game of Thrones references. Let's see. And so the last thing I want to talk about, this is taking far less time than I thought it would, so I will have plenty of time for questions. Nevertheless, she persisted. Yes. So I have nevertheless. This is Boats for Women Everywhere. Unfortunately, I don't have any nevertheless, she persisted here within reach of me, but it is listed on our website. You can go look at it. It's 2 tones of blue and the cream in the middle. But anyways, the last thing I wanted to mention was, and not many people know this, but we wanted to point it out, is that we will actually dye custom colors for you. We'll work with you to create whatever color you need for your project. And we do this with all of our bases. So if you want a custom worsted weight for a blanket or a sweater, not a problem. If you want the perfect lace for a shawl you've been eyeing, great. We will happily work with you to create something just for you. So Intarsia, yes, the Mormont is Intarsia. And thank you. Start it again. Heather Soho, it is M-O-R-M-O-N-T, Mormont. And you can see it goes from one to the other. If I put it on, you can see how it might hang here. So when you go from one mini to the other, but yes, it is an Intarsia pattern. Thank you, Kelly, for typing that out. So if anybody has any questions, I apparently have plenty of time. So I'm happy to ask whatever. I am keeping an eye on things now. Did I miss anything earlier? No, okay. The orange colored skein. Which one? This one or this one? Because we have 2. We have like the orange and the Sherilyn. You have like the orange and the purple and like the pure orangey one. These two. Or I have these two here with me. Things are delayed a little bit, so but I'll just repeat these. So the orange, yellow, and purple one is Firewatch, and this one, which is our colorway for Maryland Sheep and Wool, is a first time for everything. This colorway on the round shawl hanging behind me. So this is the pattern for this is Even Star. It's on Ravelry. And the colorway is our TARDIS, so our blue, and this is knit out of our Alfar lace, which is our very thin lace, which is again 100% superwash merino. What are the patterns behind you? So I just said this one. This one is Spitfire. It took me a sec to think of the name. Spitfire. It is a 2-color brioche. It's a little bit of a pain to knit, but it's very nice. I've knit a couple of these now. The colors used for this one are Apollo, which is this yellow, and this like mottled pastel-y one that's really hard to see is called Fairy Dragon. And this was knit out of our Yakos. We do sell kits for this on our website. You can also find the pattern on Ravelry. So, trying to keep up with things as they come in. So I'm happy to hold something back up or show you guys something again. Like I said, we have the colors we were going to feature at Allentown. Oops, drop this game. Yarn Down, which were Emo Cthulhu, Firewatch, and our To Infinity and Beyond. These were what we were going to feature while we were at Allentown, or while I was at Allentown this weekend, which unfortunately, but now you get to see them online at least. Yes, Catherine Gunn, Even Star by Susan Pandorf. But yes, I have the whole Lord of the Rings ebook. This is my personal one, but it is out of 100 Ravens yarn, so I figured it was appropriate to have as a backdrop. How does single ply hold up? Catherine Gunn, it really depends on what you use it for. The more dense you knit it, the longer it's going to hold up. It's like anything where there's some variation, but it is spun fairly tightly. It's not a super loose. It's not a super loose spin. I'll hold it up so you can get a nice good look at it. So it's got a good amount of spin on it, which is nice. The Yak mini sets. Kathy Tuberville, did you just want me to hold them up again? I am happy to do that. I need to be at their color. I haven't seen it on the site. Unfortunately, we took Big and Bright down because we put 2020 up, but if you email us, I'm sure we can dye some for you. I think we actually still have some around. But since we were putting the 2020 colorway up, we took the 2019 colorway down. But yes, these three do look pretty together. So I got a question about the Yaksha sets. So again, this is Phoenix here. We braid these together. These are 7 individual mini skein sets, 7 individual skeins. So you can actually break them all apart and work them separately. It's not a single skein that's gradiated from one to the other. They are actually individual skeins. So this is Phoenix. Then we have Mermaid's Tail, which is a green to a blue. Can I do it? Yes, I'm working on them. So Pixie Dust, which is gray, which is a light purple to a darker purple. And then this is Dark Shadows, which is a gray to a purple. Then we have Votes for Women Everywhere, which is a lighter, more greenish blue to a darker, more true blue. And then we have Pandora, which is a pink to a purple gradient. For the colorways, I am happy to hold them up again. And what pattern would I recommend for the mini skeins? Honestly, for the mini sets, any single skein pattern would work. A hat, a shawlette, matching fingerless knits, anything like that. They would all work beautifully. So I will hold up all the show colorways again so you can see them. So we have Georgia O'Keeffe. This was for the Madison Knitters Guild Knit In. It's supposed to be in March. Then we have, here's looking at you, if I don't drop it, here's looking at you, kid, which is for Stitches United. And then Counting My Blessings, which is for DFW Fiberfest. And then this one is a First Time for Everything for Maryland Sheep and Wool. I'm sorry, the person who asked about shipping or codes. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, and I don't want to butcher it. We are not offering any special shipping or coupon codes this weekend, but we do have just free shipping over $100 if you purchase. Happy to hold up anything else again as well. So, yeah. You know, we did a social media post with Firewatch with somebody who made an absolutely gorgeous hat. For sets like this, sometimes people do gradient shawls starting at one color and ending at the other color. Or sometimes people will alternate them or use them in a larger project. There was a sweater I knit a while ago that had minis, that used minis. It was an all-over solid sweater, but then like on the arms and on the torso, you just had some stripes of the colors of minis, and it was just a nice little pop in the sweater overall. So you could use them as an accent, or you could use them on their own as a single skein. Again, for the Mormont. So the Mormont was written for our Iacos, which is the two-ply fingering we have. And I don't have the solid gray with me here. I don't have a skein of this solid gray to hold up, but the mini skein set used in the sample is the Resolute Lady of Bear Island, which you can see here. So, but it's our Iacos, and the kits are going to be on our website. What's my favorite pattern you've made that I made with 100 Ravens yarn? I think, and this is me because I'm biased, but I think it's this shawl. I knit this for my wedding, and I did wear it at the reception, so I think this is my favorite simply because of the sentimental value it has. There have been a lot of things made with our yarn, a lot of large variety of things. If you go on Ravelry, you can just see project after project made with our stuff. And people do some amazing things with it. You know, they'll take colors that we didn't think to put together and put them together and make something absolutely gorgeous out of it. Again, this is got a nice geometric shape, and it is intarsia. The pattern does needs a little bit of intarsia. It's not, the pattern's not too complicated, but it is, and it is worked from one end to the other. Whoop. That's okay. That's what she's, thank you. And so the minis allow you to get that really striking transition between colors, right? Because they're separate skeins, so you can use them, you know, so when you intarsia them like this, you can actually have the very distinct color blocks. Total yardage of the mini yak. So the total skein of the yak skeins are 437 yards. So our minis are about that, 437, yes. And each individual mini is about 62 yards. Are you on Twitch? I personally, as Jessica, use Twitch. I do occasionally stream games or my knitting or something. And so I adapted one of the layouts I use for this business presentation today. Again, our lovely show colorways. If I could like wear everything, I just would so you could see it. Maybe I could just put stuff on my shoulders. And for our Iacos minis, by the way, our skeins of Iacos, because I did hold up these minis, these are 400 yards total, but each mini is about 55 yards, just for an idea of how big each individual one is. So one single mini, 55 yards. Then a needle gauge and more. Yes, my necklace is in fact a needle gauge. This one is for small sizes. It goes from a US 6 all the way down to a 6/0, which is 6 zeros for lace knitting. Clothes look super rich. Thank you. We do our best to dye really rich colors. That's what we really like. That's what we're known for. We really work on doing the rich colors. Heather Soho, the kit's supposed to be up. If it is not up, it'll be up by the morning. We've been having a couple of issues and things not going quite right. So if it's not currently up on our website, it should be soon. Fingers crossed. Tell us a little more about origins. Yeah. So, so the name actually came from the founder's daughter when she was very small. When they were living down in Maryland, she wanted to sell stitch markers at the end of the drive, and they said, well, maybe let's do this on Etsy instead, because I'm not sure you'll get many people buying stitch markers at the end of the driveway. And so they needed to come up with a name for the shop on Etsy, and so she came up with 100 Ravens, and she insisted that it be spelled out, is as in all the words. And so that's where the business began, was with her making stitch markers, and then when we started to do yarn, we started having the yarn there, and then eventually we got our own website and we moved off of Etsy. In terms of why she chose ravens, they actually lived out in farm country, and there was a lot of ravens in the nearby cornfields. So has nothing to do with sports teams, which some people seem to think. And yes, we do name, Carla, we do name a lot of our yarns after things like, you know, we have Tardis here. This yellow is Apollo for the sun god. All of our base names actually are different figures out of different mythologies. All of the names of our bases: Iakos, Tados, Yaksha, Tyche, etc. So you might recognize the words Epona, Aesir, and Vanir, because Epona is a Celtic goddess, and Aesir and Vanir are out of Norse mythology. We also have a base with linen called Sekhmet, which is an Egyptian god. 7 minutes. All right, thank you. Needle gauges from what shop? I honestly don't remember. I bought it when I was at a show from a booth. If I can remember where it was, I will look it up and respond to your comment later. I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been like a year since I got it. Anybody want me to hold anything else back up? I can do that. I still have a few minutes here left. Starting to get a nice pile of yarn in front of me here. Can't quite pile it high enough for you guys to see. Oh, another thing we have on our website is bags. I just remembered we do have project bags on our website. I just want to say again, we will be starting a knit along in 2 weeks on Saturday, April 18th. It will run for 6 weeks until Saturday, May 30th, at which point, if you have submitted a finished one of these into the thread and Ravelry, you will be entered to win a $50 gift card. Any of the 100 Ravens colorway? No, I don't have any of that here with me, unfortunately. The orange and dark blue look good together. Thank you. Yes, it would make a very nice brioche, actually. This one, yes, this would make a really nice brioche. Have any cotton yarns? Unfortunately, no, we don't have any yarns that are cotton. We do have a couple that don't have wool, but our yarns are mostly wool. We're starting to branch out in recent years. We currently don't have any cotton, unfortunately, Sue Morgan. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, you know, we're going to be doing the knit along, so we hope you'll join in. Kel will be knitting along with the knit along. They'll be knitting their own Mormont. Also, like I said before, we actually do dye custom colors on any of our bases. So if you want something very specific for a project, you are totally welcome to reach out to us, and we will work with you to make something that is exactly what you're looking for. We'll do our very best to get you what you want. Any last minute questions? I got about 5 minutes left here, 4 minutes actually. Is anything anybody wants me to hold up again that I have here in front of me? I can do that. Got my husband making faces at me in the background. So, what's your favorite colorway by name and by actual color? Let's see. Personally, let's see, favorite. There's quite a few. A couple of them I just like the name of the color. For example, we have a mini set we call Let the Wookiee Win. We also have a Rose Tyler, a Gallifrey, Last Centurion. We have a whole series of colors named after drinks and dragons out of mythology, and that's great. Personally, I've always been a fan of blue, and so I just love the blues. We have a beautiful, like, light blue named Castile that we dyed. It's absolutely lovely. We don't, Theo, we don't yet have a bulky or a super bulky. We've actually been trying out a couple of bases, so we might have one soon. The shawl behind me, this one is Even Star by Susan Pandorf. It's on Ravelry. This one is Spitfire. It's 2-color brioche. It's also available on Ravelry, and we do sell kits of Spitfire on the website. Sue Morgan, yes, I did mention bags. They are on our website, and we do have some. Some of them have gone out of stock, but we do have project bags. So, anything else I can hold up? I can show this off end to end again real quick. So it goes from the green all the way through to the red. Okay. Yes, thank you, Quinn, for the link to Spitfire. We had one that was made out of a gray and our Phoenix gradients on the Iyako. So it started as gray and yellow at one end, and it went all the way through orange to gray and red at the other end. Quinn, the thing I was just holding up, this is Mormont. This is what we are doing our knit-along for, starting in 2 weeks. It should be up on our website and available for ordering. So if you want this, and we do let you choose your own colors too, we'll have this color set available, right? The Resolute Lady of Bear Island, because I can never say that right, which is the minis. And then the smoke, we will have this exact colorway, but you can also choose your own if you want to do something completely different. So almost out of time. So any last questions? Like I said at the beginning, I will come back into the comments afterwards and see if there's anything that was missed. I will try to, for the person who asked, I will try to look up where my necklace came from. If I can remember which show I got it at and which booth at that show I got it at, I can look it up for you. So, but if that's everything, I think our time is up. So thank you guys very much for watching. It's great to be able to be here and be with you all. And I'm glad we were able to share some stuff and take part in Allentown, even though we weren't able to be there in person. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching.